You weren't born with a voice, you were born with an instrument. And it is your job to train that instrument, to tune it up so that the sounds that come out of you allow you to be authentic and powerful and influential and kind and empathetic and loving. And so that the sounds that come out of you and other people hear, they feel how you actually feel. That they feel that they can talk to you and that you listen to them.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. This is your host, Orion, and today I have with me one of my favorite teachers ever. His name is Roger Love. He was on the show before, and now I have the honor and pleasure of having him back on the show. Roger Love is recognized as one of the world's leading authorities on voice. No other vocal coach in history has been more commercially successful in both the speaking and singing fields. Roger coaches singers such as Selena Gomez, speakers like Anthony Robbins, sports stars like Tom Brady, and actors including Reese Witherspoon, Brad Pitt, Keira Knightley, and Bradley Cooper. I had the honor and pleasure of taking his live training and coaching with him one-on-one. And I have to tell you that Roger Love is the real deal. And he is a phenomenal, very talented, heart-driven teacher. In this episode, we talked about his new global mission, how to use your voice for speaking so you can improve your relationship with yourself, with others, and also improving your life through your voice. The healing that can happen through your voice, and how should I talk to my 4-year-old to get him going in the morning. That was a great tip for me, because I think our relationship is going to be better because I am going to use my voice and my intention differently. And now, without further ado, on to the show. Hi, how are you, Roger? Welcome to the show. It is an honor having you here. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for our conversation.
Yeah, me too. So you've been a guest on the show. You've been a part of my life as my coach as well. And I'm just really honored to have you here. I'm so proud of you and everything that you do in the world. And since our last interview, if you look back at your life and everything you achieved, what are some of the greatest lessons that you learned?
Really good question. Start with a tough one. I love it. Some of the greatest lessons I've learned. I didn't realize when I started teaching voice that it would be so difficult to convince people that they needed to work on their voice. Because when I started as a singing coach, the students just came to me, the ones that wanted to sing. And singers know that it's probably good to get some lessons if you haven't had any. So singers in general are thinking, how could I be better? How could I be higher? How could I sing louder? How could I sing with more emotion? But years later, when I transitioned or added speakers to my roster of clients, once I'd achieved great success with working with singers, 17 years later, speakers like Tony Robbins and John Gray and Susie Orman and actors started coming to me, and they wanted me to work on their speaking voice. And I thought the world would be a little bit more enlightened. I thought that given the opportunity, everyone should listen and look at their speaking voice and decide whether they love it or not. But the truth is, what I've learned over decades is most people are not thinking about their voice, speaking voice, until they lose it or they have some problem with it. And what a crazy way to go through life, having this amazing instrument, your voice, maybe the greatest instrument of all time, and never really learning how to play it. So I think one of my revelations is I've had to convince the world for years that they weren't born with the voices that they have. That if they don't like their voice, if it's too nasal, if it's too airy, or they just don't suit who they are personality-wise, if it's not working for their life, business and personal, that they can change it. So looking back, I just wish the world 40 years ago would have said like, wow, we realize we hate our voices and somebody can fix it. And then they would have been, like I said, a little bit more enlightened about the possibilities. That's one lesson I learned. And a second lesson I learned is that no matter what voice you're starting with, singing or speaking, you literally can train that voice to be incredible. If I took someone that was born with an instrument, Mother Nature just happened to shine her light on that particular baby, and that baby just sounds great already, sounds thick and strong and beautiful, and the resonance that come out when the baby says goo, it's like music to the ears. Goo goo, it's like a symphony. So if I take somebody who was born with what you'd say Mother Nature gave them extra gifts vocally, and I put them alongside someone that was born with nothing. They don't sound great. They don't have a great ear. They're not really interested in voice or music. If I train this person that had nothing from Mother Nature, and this person who was given everything from Mother Nature does nothing with it, this person will sound like an amazing singer or speaker, and they will leave this other person in the dust. So I've learned that it isn't about what you were born with. It's about what are you willing to work on and learn to achieve the things you want in your voice and in your life.
So I want to ask for your forgiveness because I haven't trained my voice since a long, long time ago. And I really wanted to take a lesson before this podcast because I wanted to impress you, but I didn't have the time.
You impress me with your desire to have a podcast. You impress me with you caring enough about your voice and feeling that you want to share it with other people and bring people like me who also want to share the things that they've been working on for their lives. So your voice impresses me when you open it up and you said good morning.
I'm happy to report that I went to karaoke last week and I sang Shallow. And it was nice. It was decent. I practiced in the car going there. It was really nice. What was it like to work with all those celebrities and being a part of the glamour world? You taught celebrities in the world development, in the new age development world, and you taught celebrities that are celebrities like Bradley Cooper and Tyra Banks and other amazing people. What is it like to work with them, and what did you learn from those experiences?
I learned that there's a reason that superstars succeed and last. And that is, in general, they're usually willing to work harder than other people. So a Bradley Cooper, a Brad Pitt, so many people, Reese Witherspoon, Joaquin Phoenix, the people that I work with. If I tell them they have to practice, they have to take lessons, they have to practice every day for an hour and 6 minutes, or an hour and 10 minutes, or 62 minutes, they'll do it. They'll do whatever it takes to achieve their goal of being good at the craft that they've chosen. So, for example, when I did the movie A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper, he took lessons every single day for 90 minutes, 5 days a week, and then practiced 2 hours in the evening himself on the material and went over the exercises again. That kind of dedication is why Bradley Cooper is Bradley Cooper. And what I've noticed on the highest levels, Joaquin Phoenix. If Joaquin Phoenix needs to learn how to sing, which I did for the movie Crazy Heart, that I did for him, and also Reese Witherspoon. And also I spent the last year working on the new movie Joker 2 with Joaquin, and that also stars Lady Gaga. If he wants to learn how to sing, he'll focus on it and do whatever it takes. If he needs to learn how to dance, he'll focus on it and learn how to sing. So great talents, successful talents, have learned that they were born with certain abilities, yes, but they weren't born with all abilities. But they're willing to work harder than everyone else to achieve the things that they want to get good at. That's the lesson. That's the only difference between people that are successful and not. Whether they're famous or not doesn't matter. Successful or not usually means that the people that are successful are willing to do what it takes to achieve that success.
Beautiful. What drives you these days?
My car, you just put gas in it. And I've got one that's electric. You just plug it in. That drives me to the studio so I can be with you. I'll tell you that what drove me for the last decades was this desire to create content and techniques that nobody else had created or thought to create, to advance the idea of and the experience of studying voice, to make it fun for people, to make it exciting, to make great progress happen really fast for people that wanted to take singing or speaking lessons, that I could change a singing voice or a speaking voice really fast. So that was the goal. And also, it was fun because I spent so many years working with the top of every industry, the top of the entertainment industry, the top of the broadcast industry, the top of every industry, not just Hollywood-ish. And so I got to meet so many incredible people. I would say there is a life shift that I've been going through over the last year or so, and that is I don't just want to be the teacher who the public can't get to. I want to make an even bigger mark in the world, a bigger impression, a bigger vocal impression in the world, helping the world by making what I've spent my lifetime creating accessible and affordable to anyone in the world who realizes that they need to up their voice to elevate their life, both personally and business. So I've been spending so much time working on programs for kids and programs for school systems. I'm working in the AI space with companies like Stimuli and this new company, Chiron Learning, I'm working with. How do we get the things that I know about voice into the mouths and hearts of the youngest people on the planet, the kids, so that they will grow up and be great communicators, and they will be the ones that are happy and successful and make the world a better place. So my focus has changed from only working with high-end celebrities to really trying to make the biggest positive change I can in the world. Give what I know, the gift of voice, singing and speaking, oral communication, to the youngest students that we can find anywhere so that they grow up happy and the world's a better place. Sounds lofty, but I'm on it.
Yeah, it sounds like I heard Tony Robbins speaking about, or somebody told me about it, that he's speaking into an AI for years now, before AI was a big deal or known to the public to the extent that it is today. And he's actually training an AI to do exactly what he does. Is that what you're doing as well?
Yes and no. I'm not training AI to only do what I do. I'm training AI and working with companies so that AI becomes better at listening to the sounds that you make and then giving real-time feedback. Right now, AI is all out. The in has nothing to do with learning. So when you're talking to somebody with AI, the learning capabilities of listening are still really small, as opposed to the learning capabilities of knowledge and text and data. So a computer, an AI, can't really listen to you and hear you the way that I hear you. I'm more interested in helping AI listen and then respond appropriately. So I'm trying to train AI to listen the way that I speak, and to listen for the things that I hear. Not just teach what I know, but to listen the way that I listen, so that they can help people more.
Yeah, AI is a very interesting thing. On one hand, it can be really great for humanity. On the other hand, it seems like we are definitely losing the human connection. And what we need more than ever these days is human connection. And I much rather have you listen to me and tell me about my nasal voice or whatever it is than some computer. I can also see the benefits though, because you can reach everyone and you can reach, like, the world is becoming smaller and smaller.
Remember that, I mean, AI is amazing, but AI, there's so many debates going on and so much legal action and legal situations being put into play. People both want and don't want AI to speak for them. So if you're an actor, you don't want AI Tom Cruise to do all your scenes, because AI Tom Cruise is not going to do it the way that Tom Cruise is going to do it. And yet, the technology is, if I'm Tom Cruise and I want to finish this one scene, but I can't get to the studio to do it, AI actually could imitate my voice and record my voice. So, and artists and singers, they don't want AI to write the songs for them. Songwriters want to write their own songs and be aided by AI things, but creativity is a very human thing. So there's a fine line going on and lots of fighting going on between where does creativity land, having AI do things or not do things for creatives. But the truth is that there's no AI yet that can actually perceive accurate emotions, no matter what you hear. So once AI gets used to determining the emotions of the people they're speaking with more accurately, then the AI will be able to respond more emotionally and more accurately. But that's still a long way away. And so I literally am all about human voice right now. What's the point of me only making AI better if humans are getting worse and worse and worse at communicating? Used to be at the job site, we'd go into the break room and people would actually be talking. Now you're at a big company or any company, go in the break room, there it is. It's silent. You go into the break room and there's no noise at all except for the fingers touching keyboards.
On the phone, yes. Yeah.
So really, oral communication, the way we open up our mouths and speak to other people, is at an all-time low all around the world. And so I'm fighting to help humanity hold on to what really makes us human, our creativity, our emotionality, our voices. That's why we got to this place. That's why we developed, so that we could actually make AI. We developed because of our voices. We could talk to one another. And the more decline we see in that, all the incline of AI is not going to get humanity and the world where we want to get. It's got to be a combination of people stepping up and machines stepping up and being more human. What do we want to do? Let machines decide everything, including creativity, and humans just stay quietly in a corner pushing buttons? Nobody wants that. Does it really mean anything if the AI says to me, it loves me and wants to run away? If the AI says, I love you, Roger, and please leave your wife and run away with me, how do I feel? I'm like, maybe I'll wait a while until you get skin, hair, until you actually know what I love you means. Maybe I'll stick with humans.
Yes. I feel like, using the human voice can be so healing. I've been on a tremendous healing journey and mind expansion journey in the last, 3-4 years, and especially this year. And a few weeks ago, I did a breathwork workshop that was incredible. And when you do breathwork, you activate the God molecule 5-MDMA in your brain. You can connect to different realms. And so I did that breath work and it was incredible. And one of the facilitator came to me and she held my wrist and she said, okay, put your feet on my tummy and now we're going to scream 1, 2, 3. And the scream that came from me, I think you could have heard it to the next city. It was so loud and it was a deep, it's like from my soul, something was releasing there. It was so good. It was just we don't use our voices enough. we don't sing enough. We don't scream enough. I also went to a Mind Valley event this weekend, and they did some somatic release and some. It wasn't really yelling, but it was, repeating voices after them, or I don't know, a whole thing of releasing with voice, and it was incredible. And I felt my body shaking, and I felt the voice coming out, and just being freed. We have so many masks when we interact with other people. We try to be proper. We put ourselves in boxes, and our voices reflects that. So how can we free ourselves even more?
Beautiful. By realizing, like I said in the beginning today, you weren't born with a voice, you were born with an instrument. And it is your job to train that instrument, to tune it up, so that the sounds that come out of you allow you to be authentic and powerful and influential and kind and empathetic and loving. And so that the sounds that come out of you and other people hear, they feel how you actually feel. That they feel that they can talk to you and that you listen to them. That the art of communication and being good at communicating is being good at building relationships, building lives, creating life. If you can't speak to your kids because your voice doesn't touch them, change your voice. If you can't hold a relationship because you come across unemotional, then change your voice so that your partner will know how you really feel. If you can't elevate yourself in the business world, change your voice so that people will trust you, will see your creativity, will know your value. People just don't understand that it's your voice that is giving you the life that you want, or keeping you in the life that you're just unfortunately dealing with. So you need a voice to communicate your way from wherever you are in life right now, wherever you are in relationships right now, wherever you are in feeling about yourself. Finding your voice isn't just for everybody else. Finding your voice is for yourself. When you went to that class, that workshop, and you did your primal scream,
Very primal.
You heard it. You heard the screaming, and it moved.
I heard it like it was somebody else's. I was like, "Where did that come from?" Huh? Yeah. Scary.
So finding your voice is first being able to communicate with yourself. So having the conversations with yourself that help you move through and create a life that you want, and then communicating with other people so that you can create those relationships. And like I said, I've spent a lifetime helping people figure out what sounds should come out of their mouths. And it's been a beautiful life. And I will tell you that it's never too late to tune your voice to achieve what you want to achieve next.
Nice. When you work with major speakers, how do you help them succeed in speaking on stage? Like, what are some of the most important things that one can take just from this conversation when they're speaking on stage?
Well, when you're speaking on stage or off, I say it's no benefit practicing when you're in front of an audience. You should be doing it before you get to the audience and make it comfortable in your body and in your ears, so that when you actually are in an important situation where you need to tell 500 people that you love them and they all want to go away with you on vacation, you're already practiced. So some of the things you need to focus on are the musical sounds that should be in your voice. I learned years ago, decades ago, that there's very little difference between singing and speaking. That you have control over the same 5 variables: pitch, pace, tone, melody, and volume, whether you're a singer or not. So singers learn about pitch and melodies and volume changes and tempo changes, and they learn about all those things. But speakers, or wannabe speakers, they think that they don't have the same variables, but they do. So a great speaker, or somebody who wants to be one, needs to work on melody. Every time you speak, your voice is going up or going down or staying on the same note. There's a melody, but your melody is either a really boring, sad song that sounds like this, where you're putting people to sleep, or you're making them sad, because you're using descending scale. So your melody is either getting people happy, or it's depressing the hell out of them. But there's a melody going on. Which one are you using? You should know. You need more ascending melodies, going from lows to highs. What a great day. This is amazing. I love being with you. I could have been with my piano, but I'm with you. So ascending melodies. People are afraid of volume, so they speak softer. People hold their breath, so they speak like a squeaky hinge, like a door frame, like a door hinge that doesn't have any WD-40. What's that telling people? I'm old, I'm crotchety, there's no music in me or my life. So the sounds, or we're whispering, thinking that more hair means you care more, or that I'm sexier than you if I have more hair. But air doesn't make it sexy. It's a combination of tone and volumes and melodies. So once you realize that there are these musical sounds, like melody and tempo changes, most people speak the same tempo the whole time. I'm really excited. I just won the lottery. You want to go away? Oh, I just spent all my money on the lottery and I'm not going away anywhere. And they have the same tempo. But what about when you get excited? What about speaking faster when you get excited? What about speaking slower when you want to showcase more empathy? What about adding just the right amount of air, but not enough that the air comes out of your mouth? Man, you speak so angry that people can't even hear you because it's hot air. You got to think about pitch, pace, tone, melody, and volume. What's right? What's wrong? Speaking louder and not sounding angry. There's so much to learn. We're a world of fillers. If you talk to your average young person or even older person these days, and you counted how many words they used and how many fillers, like
I
you
don't
know,
let me think.
well,
I can't get rid of those. How do you get rid of those? I still have my team like getting rid of the ums and the ahs.
The way you get rid of them is you speak on a solid stream of air and you don't stop until you get to a comma. And then you close your lips and you do not open your lips. You breathe through your nose, you close your lips, and you don't open your lips until you have a real word. And people will wait. I'm talking to you and I get to a comma. Then I think about what I'm going to say next and I don't open up my mouth until I have something that I really want to say.
I have so much practice I need to do.
You need to close your lips more. Close your lips after commas. Breathe in through your nose and wait until you know exactly what you want to say next. People want that time to think about what you just said.
I see. I just did the but I also lived in Japan. Okay, I lived in Japan, and this stuck with me because when Japanese people talk, it's really polite to while they're talking to say like it's weird. It doesn't exist here in the American culture.
That's right. That starts from Japanese people. When you're speaking with someone in Asia, not just Japan, there's this idea of I'm speaking, and you're listening. You go, hi, 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 which means yes, I'm still alive. I'm listening to you. I'm not asleep. Go on. I'll talk when I want to. Hi. So it all stems from this yes, 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 but we don't have that response. So the reason that we add fillers is because we don't have that response. And the reason we add fillers is because people don't respond to us the same way. So we feel like if we ever got to a comma and then was silent, people would leave. We're trying to keep people's attention, so we mistakenly try to fill up all the silent spots. I get to a comma, and then, I fill it so that I don't lose your attention, and then I jump in when I can say something, and then I get to another comma, and I should have been silent, but I don't because I'm afraid of losing you. You have to lose that fear. Here's the truth. Listeners only process when there's silence. So it is your job to speak to someone and get to a comma and then be silent so that they can process and feel what you just said. When you fill the silent spaces, they're just in gather mode. They're just trying to remember all the words you say. But only when the speaker is silent does the listener actually process how they felt about it. So silence isn't golden. Silence is triple times a million platinum. And those fillers are stopping people from processing what you're saying. It's stopping people from feeling what you want them to feel because you didn't give them any time to be silent, so that they could think about what you just said and get ready for more.
I will practice. It's a matter of practice. It does not come natural to me.
But it's a matter of knowing what you should do. That fillers are not about you keeping their attention. Fillers are you telling the audience, forget about thinking about what I just said or remembering what I just said. Just keep listening to the words I say. Maybe we'll catch up later. Except, like, we won't.
I do hypnotherapy, and I give my clients a hypnotherapy recording to listen to after our session. And the feedback that I get is that my voice is very soothing and it's pleasant. They like it. How can I make it even more pleasant, more soothing, and more? Because I think that when I do that, I do really mean what I say, and I come from a heart-driven place, so they can feel it. And how can I make it better?
You can make it better by surprising them sometimes and moving out of that beautiful, soothing, I gotcha, I'll carry you across the river because you can't swim voice. And sometimes you getting a little bit more excited, getting a little bit, I feel fun like now, like I'm a 9-year-old kid who just got a triple scoop of ice cream and it's vegan and healthy and I can't wait to eat it all. So you need to go into that other playful side of you so that when you go back in and out of the gentle, hypnotic voice that you have of caring, that they move emotions with you. So you're great at getting people into this state of you've got them, but excite them. It's okay to excite them. I had a conversation the other day with Dr. Richard Bandelier, who co-created NLP, and he's one of the biggest authorities in the world on hypnosis. And he said it's a myth that the greatest hypnotists in the world have to have a soft, airy, monotone voice. He says it's not true. That you can have an amazing, incredible, full of melody voice that isn't airy, and that actually helps you create the hypnotic state for your listeners. That it's, I don't want to say it's a wife's tale, I'll say it's a husband's tale. Let's blame the husbands. It's a husband's tale that to do hypnosis, you have to have an airy, soft voice. You don't.
I noticed myself actually not getting into the airy fairy voice and sometimes actually getting like a 9-year-old who is having a full fat non-vegan ice cream.
I love it. I'm eating it. So it's variety. People like surprises. So you can do that with your voice, and then at the end of every conversation you have, for you to feel like you're a winner of leading the conversation, is how many different emotions did you make people feel? Not just how long did I keep them in one emotion. How many different emotions did I get them to feel so that they get off the thing and they say, well, Roger made me laugh, and Roger made me think, and Roger was, I felt when he was serious about changing the world, and Roger made me feel this, and he made me feel that. Then we had a good talk.
I love listening to you. It is so entertaining, but also I can really feel your heart. And knowing you a little bit personally, I just think that you're an incredible human being and so hard driven. And everything that you do is coming from that place of service. And you really care about people. And Even seeing you working with people, you treat everybody with the utmost respect and you really want to elevate them. You really want to help them. And it doesn't matter who they are, how old they are, what's their background. And it's very beautiful for me to witness that. So I just wanted to acknowledge you.
Thank you so much. Filler, me, but you do know, so it actually is true. You know that there's a lot of experts in it. And I'm just a teacher. I've always just been a teacher and a performer, because I grew up singing. So I was a performer, and a performer loves to connect with the audience. And a teacher loves their students and is passionate about their subject. So forget about all these experts that are always trying to sell things or programs. That's a whole other thing. I'm just a performer who became a teacher, and the teacher loves his students. And they say a great teacher learns the most from the students. So I'm just open to learning and caring as a teacher does for the students, because I want my students to grow up and succeed and be happy and create more music in the world, even if it's just from their speaking voice.
What is one of your success stories, but actually not a success story, a healing story where you helped somebody that didn't have a voice, and how did that shift their whole demeanor? How did that shift their life?
I learned years ago that I could help with stuttering, for example, because medical community, psychological community says there's no cure for stuttering. So I realized when I was a kid that when you have a severe stutter problem, when you sing, it disappears. So I created techniques to train people who were stuttering to create what I call solid airflow, so that the air is uninterrupted and the words ride out on air. When you take someone that can't go into Starbucks and give them their name on their drink order, and you allow them to feel comfortable about their voice and to make their voice come out and eliminate the stuttering issues, it's so beautiful. So I'm most proud of helping people who have problems with their voices, stuttering, spasmodic dysphonia, people who have issues that the medical community can't fix. And I always wanted to see what I could do with what I've been learning over the years. So my success stories are that. Helping someone that had no voice, helping people that had surgery, that had parts of their vocal cords removed, or they damaged their vocal cords, and then rebuilding their voices better than new, so that they could access all the sounds and more. It's those stories that I look back on and I'm proud of. It's this 17-year-old boy whose mother brings him to me, and they've tried everything, and for 17 years I haven't been able to fix the stuttering. And I send him back to school the next day, and he has the ability not to stutter. And it changes the way he feels about himself, or she feels about himself, and the way that other people react to them. And just kind of level the playing field, that everyone could have a beautiful voice and could use it to have great conversations and relationships.
That's so beautiful. I got so immersed in that answer that I forgot my next question. Let me think about it.
It's okay. Your next question is, did you bring any gifts for anybody?
Yes, did you, Mr. Roger? By the way, have you seen Uncle Roger on YouTube?
No.
It's a funny Asian guy. He calls himself Uncle Roger. You should check it out.
Well, maybe he's my uncle.
Maybe he's your uncle. Mr. Roger Love, I know you have a gift for our listener. Can you share that with us, please?
I have a $50 gift certificate for any of my programs. And if you go to voiceplace.com/stellar, you can choose singing, if you want to work on your singing, or speaking, or both, and get $50 off. And my programs are these programs that I have online, these are more affordable than you think. So $50 off an affordable program puts it in anybody's price range. So I would just go to voiceplace.com/stellar and enjoy the $50 off and start tuning up your voice like an instrument so that the next time you meet me, you say, Roger, I hated my voice before, but now I can sing, and now I speak, and now I'm getting married, and now my kids actually listen to me when I say stop playing naked on the freeway, and things like that. Or I had a stutter problem, and your exercises really helped me. That's the kind of conversations I want to start with.
I still need to work on my 4-year-old listening to me. Sometimes he doesn't. Like, no matter what I do, with all my NLP background and hypnotherapy and coaching background and a little bit of voice, not a lot, background, doesn't listen sometimes. But it's okay.
Can you show us? I'm talking to my 4-year-old voice.
Like, David, come on, we gotta go to school. Come on, can you please, let's go. Come on, David, let's go. That's one of them.
Okay, so actually, you sound less confident in that voice than you did in this other voice of calmness and I'm in control. When you went to that other voice, first of all, you raised your pitch. You went up here and you said, come on, David, we gotta go. There's a sense of urgency and it's sort of nervous. It sounds a little nervous, like you're not going to really follow me and you haven't followed me yet the first 3 years. So where do I go?
I know he's not going to.
Yeah, so actually you sound less confident when you're speaking to him that way. I suggest you talk to him like he was a 50-year-old man who you had the cure for his or her arthritis. And you were going to heal this man, and there's no sense of urgency. Talk to the 4-year-old like you've been speaking to me. Honey, it's perfect. I love it. I love that Sharpie design you just put on the dining room wall. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. We're leaving for school now, confidently. You have 18 more seconds before I drive away. So walk or sit with me as a passenger and talk about love and life. 18 seconds. You have 16. Go get your shoes. I'll see you in the car. The same voice that you sort of use here. You sound too urgent in that 4-year-old voice that you gave me. Be calm with him.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Confident. They're just going on confidence levels. They already know you can get upset. That doesn't change it.
Oh, he knows that. Yes, of course. I get upset easily when my needs are not met or when we're late, especially when we're late. So yeah, I'll be a calm mom and I'll talk to him as an adult with confidence, and I'll report back to you. I'll let you know what happened.
That's right. Giving that 4-year-old the opportunity to show you that he is strong and he will make the right decision instead of you pushing him into making decisions that second.
Yes, so much to learn. I really appreciate this. Thank you. I think it's actually going to shift the relationship there with time and being late to places. Before we say goodbye for now, what are your 3 top tips to living a stellar life?
Record yourself speaking and listen back and listen for it. Do I have enough melody? Do I speak too softly or speak with a squeaky hinge, which I don't need to? Do I speak so airy that people just walk all over me because they think I'm an air conditioning vent instead of a person? Record yourself, listen back. Record yourself and listen back. And listen to voices that you love. Listen to the melodies and the volume changes and the tempo changes. Listen to the sounds, the resonance of those voices. And then record yourself imitating voices that you love until you sound more like the people that you deserve to emulate. But listen, record, and change. Those are my three things. Listen, record yourself, and then make changes.
Beautiful. Can you please repeat the link again of where people can get the discount?
voiceplace.com/stellar.
Yes. Roger, it was amazing seeing you again. I appreciate you. I send you my love. I send you a big hug from Miami. And thank you so much for being here.
So send love back to you, back to Stefan, and our 4-year-old, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. And thank you, listeners. Remember to record yourself speaking and learn from that. Listen to voices you love and imitate them, and make changes and have a stellar life. This is Orion. Till next time.